So first of all, I want to say thank you for everybody making it. And I realize y'all been sitting for a little bit, but I want you to know that because Zoom has an accurate count of who's participating, when we started, we had about 15 participants at 5:30, but we've waited a few minutes. Now we're up to 41, and it's continuing to count. So I do appreciate everybody's patience, but it's allowed more people to connect and be involved. And as you can tell, this is our first time doing this. This is the first time participating, so we appreciate everybody's patience. The main thing I want to say as we kick off our last meeting of the year is, what a difference a year makes, right? I don't think anybody knew that we would be in this situation at this time doing this. If somebody had said at the beginning of the school year, you're not going to go back after spring break, I think we would have all been very, very shocked to think that's even a possibility. But what's been amazing about this is the resiliency that we've seen out of our communities, out of our teachers, out of the education community and the district. And so I want to say thank you to everybody and all the hard work they've put in. And I think the team that we have in our GTEAC leadership is no exception when it comes to the phenomenal work that we see going on around us. And so we're going to see some results of that tonight. But the main thing I want to emphasize as we get started is that because of this situation, because of what everybody's going through, what's most important at this time is that you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your family, and you're taking care of your health. And the thing that I always emphasize at all of our meetings is that the GTEAC is a forum for you to get help. And whenever you need help, specifically, we try to help with GT parents and those kind of things. But today, you can see your district and what you've invested your time and your money in helping you in ways that you didn't know was possible. And so what I really want to emphasize is that if you need help with anything, and I mean if you're hungry and you need food, the district is distributing food at 13 different locations. So don't think that you're in any of this alone, and realize that the community that you are a part of and the resources that are available to us are very broad and very large. But there's stuff here, so just ask for it, ask for help. None of us thought we would be in this situation. People everybody experiences a little bit differently based on their own personal situations, but don't be under the impression that there aren't people that don't care about you and your family and your kids. And this is just one organization that's here to help, and we'll help to connect you any way we can to any of the resources that we know that are available to GT, as well as through the district or anything like that. So don't be afraid to ask for help. And I always say that in general when it talks about GT, but today that goes way beyond what we normally think about. So please keep all of that in mind. And with that, I wanted to share a little story about some places that I've had to ask for help in this own situation. And before our current environment, I used to, I'd be at work and I'd be like, man, I could telework from home all day. It would be great. It would be amazing. I get all this stuff done. But what's been amazing and interesting about our current situation is it never occurred to me that telecommuting and homeschooling are really not compatible. And so the challenges that I've had as a parent, and me and my wife as a team that are both trying to telework, it would be awesome, but trying to do that and homeschool has been a challenge that we could have never imagined. And I realize that, not that we shot ourselves in the foot, but when you go around bragging about how good your education system is, how good your public school is, how good your teachers are, and all this, what you realize is that your kids are used to a very high level of education, and their expectation is very, very high because they're taught by professional educators on a regular basis for 8 hours a day. And so when they come home to you and you realize that you're not a professional educator that's been sharpening this craft for years, and you're trying to live up to their expectation, it's not going to happen right away, if ever. But that doesn't mean that we don't try, and it doesn't mean that we don't need to realize that we can still reach out to those professionals and get help if we need to. Our district has been extremely resilient. They were postured very well for this because they already had the Google G Suite, they already had Google Classroom and Google Meets, and all the kids had accounts. All of those things were provisioned. And so their ability to pivot and move towards this virtual classroom, they had a lot of the groundwork already laid. And so a lot of the technical issues they're moving towards are the kind of things that we are fortunate to be trying to solve, as opposed to some of the more fundamental things. And so I just wanted to tell you guys, especially the parents, that this has been hard for everybody. It doesn't matter what your background is. Nobody is prepared to replace the education system that our children have grown accustomed to. And so don't have that expectation on yourself that you need to do that. The most important thing, again, at this point, is your health. Just take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your mental needs, whatever it is, and ask for help. So I just wanted to emphasize that. And so when we met yesterday to test out the technology a little bit, I inquired, what we could really use is a list of things to do with a GT student while you're trying to telework, so that they can be adequately occupied. Of course, I threw that challenge out. Now, I did what I'm telling you to do. I didn't write a list. I asked the professionals for help. And so Kim Stewart reached out to some of the educators in our community, and they put together a list of things which we're going to post a little bit later online. And so you guys will be able to see that. But I just wanted y'all to know that this is an example of me asking for help, which is, I'm trying to continue to help do my mission for my work. I'm trying to be a good parent and continue the education of my children, but it's not an easy balance. We all struggle with it. So don't feel intimidated by it. This is a tough time. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask any of us for help. And there's a lot of resources available. So with that being said, I wanted to talk about some of those resources. One of them that we had already started knowing that some of the parents that are in our community have different struggles and challenges that seem unique for themselves, because our community can seem small at a large scale. But when we really step back and look at the district and realize that there's thousands of us with kids in the program, that there's a lot of resources. And so one of those was our parenting meeting group that had started at the beginning of the year. And we had, I think, 20 slots, and we ended up getting 75 applicants, if that's correct, something like that. So we discovered there was a very high interest for being able to find this help in this type of community. And so we wanted to come back and tell you how that went, because I think in the future we're going to look to expand that a little bit. And so I was gonna pass that on to Jennifer and Sandra, I believe, and I'll let you guys take over.
You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry. Sorry. Thank you, Danny. Those are really great reminders. You're right. The most important thing that we can do right now is just to make sure that we're all taken care of. We can't learn very well if our basic needs aren't being met. And it can be a really stressful time for all of us, let alone our gifted kids. And so that's great advice that you've given our parents and our teachers too, because our teachers are parents as well. Just to give a quick update about our parent group, is that we have been meeting for the last 10 weeks. And we got cut short a little bit. We were supposed to finish on April 11th. That was the very end of that was supposed to be our last meeting. I'm sorry, April 1st. That was supposed to be our last meeting. And we decided, Sandra and I, to extend that. We reached out to the parents who were participating, and we asked them, what do you need right now more than anything? How can we meet your needs? How can we support you? And the response was that parents wanted to continue the book study, but really on their own pace, because we couldn't have predicted the situation. And we of course have to adjust based on everybody's different needs. So they agreed to go ahead and just read at their own pace. And then Sandra and I have made ourselves available through Zoom each week, going through next week. So next Wednesday will be our last meeting with parents. However, we just want to also let all the parents and teachers who are parents watching know that you're not alone, and even though the parent meeting is going to be ending, there are still resources out there. And so we highly recommend the website senggifted.org. It's SENGIFTED.org. And we strongly recommend that you sign up for the emails because they offer online support groups. And right now, they're in the midst of offering those to parents and helping them help their kids cope with the whole COVID situation that's going on. And so at the moment, Sandra and I are being trained to be able to facilitate those online courses. So we haven't discussed what that looks like for the future yet, but we're in the process of that. So parents, if you sign up to receive emails from seng.org, then you'll be notified when those online courses are available.
Jennifer, can you repeat that website? We're having some requests from parents.
It's senggifted.org. So it's SENGIFTED.org. And that's an organization, it's a nonprofit, and their whole entire purpose is to meet the needs of gifted parents and their kids and to be of support. And they have conferences, parent conferences, and conferences for psychologists and therapists, and anybody who works with gifted children and their parents. Is there anything you wanted to add, Sandra?
Yes, thank you, Jennifer. I just wanted to say that it has been an absolutely unique experience to co-facilitate with Jennifer. And Jennifer was the one that was certified, and I came in on board with her as a co-facilitator just to support in any way that I can. So first of all, thank you, Jennifer, for allowing me this opportunity. And throughout the entire 10 weeks plus more, because we went over those 10 weeks, I think the most important thing that we've noticed is that parents needed this, number one, like Danny said. There is a need for a unique parent group for those of us who are parenting gifted children. And number two, it became a foothold for a lot of these parents where they could come and just say, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one in the world experiencing this with my child. And this is not out of the norm. It's something that other people are going through. And what can we do? What strategies worked for you in your home, and what strategies can I implement? And throughout the entire period, we were just tickled by what families tried at the beginning and how their perspective changed of parenting their gifted child. And it's just so beautiful to see, because at the end of the session, they grew as parents and they understood their children a lot more. And so, of course, we throw in a crisis and that changes everything. But I think we're very blessed to have had this opportunity, and we appreciate the district supporting us in our efforts, and especially the parents who made this happen. But it was a wonderful experience, and I think the parents would have loved to say a few words. I know we had a few volunteers that were going to be at this meeting physically, but weren't able to because of the situation. But there was a lot of positive feedback from them.
Yes, and I mean, I couldn't ask for a better wingman. You wouldn't know who was the co-facilitator and who was the certified person. Sandra is amazing. And I just have to agree with everything that she said. I think that a lot of the parents really started to bond and looked forward to the meetings every week. and you know, the walls came down, and it was just we became a pretty close-knit family, and it's hard to see that end, but we look forward to being able to continue it in the future, and so we're very grateful.
And I'll just follow up and thank Jennifer and Sandra both for pioneering this effort. As we've all pointed out, it was definitely a need in our district. And so we are on our way to offering hopefully more support groups. So thank you, ladies. And up next is going to be Rebecca Hughes, who has worked tirelessly on our walkathon, which looks a lot different this year. So thank you, Rebecca.
You bet. It actually did look a lot different just because we weren't all face to face, but I have to say that the numbers of people that we had as attendees was absolutely exciting. We had 514 people that joined us virtually this year since we couldn't all be together on the Brandeis track. So I have to say that that is only about 200 people less than we had last year. So thank you for teachers that are on that drove the attendance, and for parents that are out there that talked about it, that joined online, and that got out with your families or figured out creative ways that you could exercise together and walk together to be part of this event. I will let you know that we always announce the t-shirt winners. So you see on your screen right now that we have this year's t-shirt winner that is from a student at Colonies North Elementary School, and her name is Amelia Shannon. So if you know her, congratulate her. She did a phenomenal job on this artwork. We went back and just added a little virtual in there so we would remember this time, and hopefully this is the only time that we are completely virtual. But again, I'm thrilled with the outcome. We had a total of net profit from the site of $4,326.54. Of course, we still have some expenses that have to come out of there for our t-shirts. And a couple of other things, but other than that, it was a great walk. We also, if you got on the Twitter page and saw all the activity happening during that week, we had some definite spirit going on out there. So I want to congratulate the 2 elementary schools that once again won for spirit winners, and that's Hausman Elementary and Cole Elementary. They did a phenomenal job, each of them with over 70 people on their team. So congratulations to those 2 elementary schools. We did draw prizes, so hopefully you saw that list. If not, as soon as we get t-shirts in, we'll be delivering prizes and t-shirts kind of all at the same time, and we will notify everybody again. That way we make sure that we get everybody their shirts and prizes. So thank you again for the wonderful support. It's been truly a different experience, but it's definitely been a positive one. So we look forward to doing the walkathon again in 2021 and continuing to grow this event. Thanks so much.
And I just wanted to
thank you, Rebecca, for all that you do to support that walkathon. And because of that walkathon, we are able to award grants. So I think Meredith has a video that she is going to play now of all of our grant winners this year. We are super excited to be able to provide 10 grants. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Jalissa Abing and I am the Gifted and Talented and Enrichment Specialist at Cole Elementary. I have been in this position for 4 years and I absolutely love it. I just wanted to say thank you so much for giving us this grant. The project was titled Dashing Through 2.0. Last year we were so blessed to be able to get 2 Dash Wonder robots for our GT and Enrichment program at Cole. And the kids absolutely love these robots. As Cole is a fairly new school, we are continuing to grow each year, and we've now hit over 1,000 students, so we are servicing a lot of kids. And so I felt that we had a very big need for more Wonder robots, and so with this grant, we will be able to purchase 3 more. So I'm very excited. The Dash Wonder robots teach many things. Of course, computer science, which the kids nowadays are needing more and more, and for future job purposes. However, it also continues to instill not only coding skills, but math skills, engineering skills, reading skills, and of course the collaboration and teamwork that all students need. So I just wanted to say thank you so much again, and I'm so excited to be able to bring these Dash robots to Cole Elementary. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, my name is Vivian Burleson and I am the GT specialist at Fernandez Elementary, and it is my 8th year of teaching GT and my 6th year of being there at Fernandez, and I absolutely love it. And I want to thank everyone for this incredible opportunity to win this grant. The name of my project was Facing Challenges in the MAC GT Classroom. And what it is that I wanted a set of Facing Math books that have been recommended for our MAC GT classrooms from our central office as a really good resource to use. They combine creativity and drawing with math practice, and so it's really good for those higher math skills and for being creative with that as well. And so each of our MAC GT teachers will be getting one of those books for their grade level. And also I am getting a set of depth and complexity stamps for our MAC GT teachers. It was a need that was communicated to me from one of our MAC GT teachers that they want their kids to be more interactive with the depth and complexity, the icons, and so having those stamps would be really useful for them. And kind of the challenge that we had this year is that for several years we've been Title I at Fernandez, and this year we lost that designation, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but what it did was it cut our funds some, and so we did not have the budget to have these types of resources for our MAC GT teachers. And so again, I want to thank you guys so much for giving me this grant so that I can help our MAC GT teachers. Thanks again.
Hi everybody, my name is Gabriella Mills. I'm the GT and Enrichment Specialist at John Glenn Elementary. This is my first year in this position, and I am loving every single minute of being in this role. I first of all want to thank the Ignite Grant Committee for choosing my grant titled Thinking Critically with Think Law. I was very excited when I received the email that it had been chosen. I'm even more so excited that I get to partner up with Colin Seal, who is the founder of Think Law. And if you remember, he came to speak to us earlier in this year about how to teach our students to think like a lawyer. I have now had the opportunity to speak with Colin a couple times, as well as listen to him present when I attended Gifted 2019 back in December, and while also participating in the webinars that he has been presenting through TAGT while we've been at home. I chose the Think Law curriculum for my grant because critical thinking skills is something that's crucial for all students, and not all of them are getting the opportunity of developing these skills on a consistent basis. So this program will not only help me reach my GT students, but as well as my enrichment students, because it will give them the confidence and the tools necessary that they need to help think critically and examine all sides before making a decision. The curriculum will not only help me engage my students, but it also gives them the opportunity to develop their social emotional side, because students can feel so passionate about being right. So the curriculum also gives them the opportunity to argue both sides, which in turn helps them develop a true understanding of seeing something from someone else's perspective. The program is highly interactive and it has an extremely practical approach that can be applied to Socratic seminars, and has a powerful inquiry and problem-solving method that will give them the tools necessary that they need. The goal of my project is to make teaching critical thinking equitable among all students, while pushing them to reach their full potential. I am so excited about being able to use this with my GT students as well as my enrichment students, and I can't wait to see the growth that they have. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Laura Kincaid, and I am so excited that I have been selected as one of the grant winners this year. I am from Knowlton Elementary School, and I've been a GT teacher for, I believe, 6 years now. It's the best job ever. My project this year is called Celebrating Our Strengths with Social Emotional Learning, and it is designed to use targeted literature, meditation, and a structured workbook that is designed specifically to teach social emotional learning for students so that they will learn lifelong techniques to help them manage their emotions and their mental health, as well as to be able to engage and handle complex social situations as they grow up. Thank you so much. I'm so excited, and I really appreciate all that this committee and the Walkathon has done. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Cassandra Figueroa, and I'm the GT Specialist at Langley Elementary. I've been blessed to be in this role for the past 15 years. I just want to take the time to express my gratitude to the GTEAC for funding my project, Putting the A in STEAM, a project which teaches students how to use the art of design to develop innovative thinking. Throughout Northside classrooms, we see amazing projects and lessons with a STEM focus to help prepare our students for the future. Sometimes the art's overlooked, which can also provide imperative skills to develop innovative thinkers. In one study, 82% of surveyed scientists and engineers said that they would recommend arts education as a useful or even essential background for a scientific innovator. The funding for this grant will be used to purchase materials for an art station that will give students hands-on opportunities to conceptualize designs and apply creative planning to see their designs come to fruition. This process will not only enhance our STEM thinkers and problem solvers, but strengthen our creative arts thinkers as well, who might become creative innovators in their own areas of strength. As Leonardo da Vinci once said, art is the queen of all sciences, communicating knowledge to all the generations of the world. Thank you again to the GTEAC and their Ignite grant for providing students with materials that will create an environment that will allow students to communicate their own knowledge as well.
Good evening. My name is Liz Bumgarner. I'm the GT Specialist at McDermott, and I've been a GT teacher since 2003 at Power. Next year's GT unit of study is biomes, and who doesn't like a little bit of greenery in their class? This project will fit appropriately with the targeted objectives of learning about plants in an ecosystem. The GT classroom will become a growing plant center. Grow in Plant Power project will be using a DIY grow light system, and students will be able to grow any plant variety all year long inside the GT classroom. Our DIY grow light system ensures that our seedlings get ideal amounts of light indoors, even when it's freezing, stormy, or cloudy outside. And research shows that just 40 seconds of contact with a plant helps ease stress and improve focus and attention. Research has also linked indoor plants with increased productivity and reduced mental fatigue, all of which can be beneficial for the GT classroom and kids. So thanks again, Ignite.
Hi, my name is Pamela Zuna, and I am the GT Specialist split between Passmore and Martin Elementary. I have been a GT Specialist for 1 full year. This will be my full year this year. The grant that I applied for, I titled Unlocking Student Potential, and it will enable me to purchase a breakout box for each campus, as well as a platform access code. The reason why I decided to apply for a grant for these boxes is, first of all, my wonderful cluster let me borrow 2 boxes this past year. And I saw through my experiences how engaging these boxes were, these challenges and these games. They enabled the students to practice the 4-season education, the critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity in a fun and engaging way. With this healthy competition, it motivates children to do their best, and not just good enough, but they really tried their best to work with each other and to accomplish their goal collaboratively. It was really fun and engaging, and it really touched on their social emotional needs as well. But I just want to thank you so much for granting me this grant that I can go ahead and purchase this for each of my campuses. I know that the kids will be super excited, and my plan also is to use these breakout boxes in the regular ed classrooms as well. Thank you so much. Super excited. Can't wait to implement them. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Peggy Hand, and I'm from Rudder Middle School. I teach the 6th and 7th grade GT Science and help with the GT 8th grade Science. I've been a GT specialist at Rudder Middle School for 5 years. First of all, thank you, Dr. Woods, Courtney, and Kim, for all you do to support and enrich and continue the GT program at Northside. Thank you, Mr. Lopez, for leading the GTEAC parent organization. And also thank you for the parents that are involved in all of this. Thank you to the program also for awarding Rudder Middle School one of the wonderful Ignite grants for this year to help fund our ongoing Water, Water Everywhere project, which is the monitoring of the water quality at the Guadalupe River State Park and Honey Creek area. We've had a 5-year partnership with Guadalupe Park and their rangers, and throughout that 5 years we have included over 100 several hundred kids from the GT program at Rudder Middle School, and continuing to include our Rudder Middle School GT now high school alumni kids. And we also continue to take our feeder school GT kids that come in so that they can get acclimated to our program and be a part of that river study. This is a water quality testing that we have been doing for 5 years, 4 times, 4 Saturdays a year. The kids go out there. They collect various environmental markers at Guadalupe River and at Honey Creek, which means they're testing the water quality, doing the pH, the temperature, the turbidity, dissolved oxygen, the nitrates, phosphates, to determine the different, and then collect invertebrates also, determining the pollution level of the rivers and the water sources, all of which takes a lot of specialized equipment. We've in the past used Guadalupe Park's seines. They're large and small seines. They've graciously loaned those to us when they're available. So they go out into the river, the kids go out in the river, do the collection of the invertebrates, identify them, and count them, and that determines the quality or the level of pollution in the rivers. Purchasing our own seines will no longer limit us to the availability of these seines from the park, and it will also allow us to be able to go to other water sources to test those quality water sources and to determine the pollution levels there. Again, thank you on behalf of all of our GT students for allowing us to continue to bring science to life. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Kristy Mullin, and I am the GT and Enrichment Specialist for Scarborough Elementary School. I have been in this position for the past 4 years for Northside, and I love every minute of getting to work with our exceptional and amazing students. I was so excited to find out that my grant proposal that was called Digging into Math, the Depth and Complexity Way was chosen for an Ignite grant. This year at Scarborough Elementary School, we started the MAC GT program. That stands for Math and Clustering of our GT students. This grant will allow our classroom teachers and students to have more access to depth and complexity materials. This framework allows teachers and students to dig deeper and have a more complex understanding of our math concepts. Thank you so much, and I cannot wait to get started and to provide this for our MAC GT classrooms.
Okay, so once again, congratulations to all of our grant winners. If you were counting, I mentioned we are awarding 10, and that was only 9. However, Miss Ozuna got, she won a grant for both campuses, Passmore and Martin. So that is where our 10th grant came from. And she was the one that had asked for Breakout EDU boxes. And Breakout EDU is a fantastic resource that all of our teachers enjoy using. And I believe that the resource that we are going to publish later on that Danny had requested for parents has a little treat. Breakout EDU is doing a free daily puzzle for families. And so I encourage you guys to check that out. I also want to highlight 2 of our Ignite grant winners I just found out are also semi-finalists for the HEB Excellence in Education Awards. So congratulations double to Laura Kincaid and Peggy Hand. So no surprises there. We have an exceptional staff all around, but we are super excited for these ladies. So the last little piece of our meeting is certainly last but not least, we are so excited. This year, our high school fundraiser was simply to go eat at Chipotle. Chipotle is a fantastic partner that actually offers 33% of the proceeds on their designated fundraising nights, which if you're used to doing these, 20% was the highest I had ever heard. So 33% was fantastic. And so many of you went and supported that, and we really appreciate it. In the past couple of years, we have been able to award one exceptional senior an Ignite scholarship, a $500 scholarship. And this year we are able to award 4. So that is because of all of you who supported the Chipotle fundraiser. We appreciate it. And at this time, we are going to meet our 4 recipients.
My name is Bella Villalon. I go to O'Connor High School, and I'm proud to say that I am one of the scholarship winners this year. I've been a part of GT since I was in elementary school, and I'm so glad that I've been able to be in this program throughout middle school and high school as well. I have learned so many different skills such as team building as well as communication skills that I still carry with me today. With this scholarship, I'm planning on going to UTSA to get a major in health, and then afterwards I'm planning on going to a nursing school in which I'll get my certification to become a pediatric nurse. Thank you guys so much again for giving me this opportunity to further my education and further my skills as a leader.
Hello, my name is Kylie Martin. I'm from Brandeis High School. I wasn't able to start the GT program until I was going into 7th grade. I had just moved here from California due to the fact that I've been a part of a military family my whole life, but in those 6 short years, GT was able to provide me with skills that I will be able to use for the rest of my life. From 7th grade to 10th grade, GT proved to be a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and ISM was even more so. As I mentioned in my essays, I owe much of who I am today to GT and ISM. Now, as I move beyond high school, I will continue to use those assets that the GT program has taught me as I study cellular and molecular biology at Michigan State University, with hopes that one day I will move on to being a geneticist later in life. Once again, thank you for the wonderful opportunity that the GT program has been, not only to myself and the other scholarship winners, but to every student that has been a part of the GT program.
Good afternoon, GT specialists of Northside. My name is Nina Pyron, and I'm one of this year's scholarship winners coming from O'Connor High School. First off, I want to say thank you for what you do for kids like me. I've been involved in GT since the 5th grade, and I can definitely say it's helped me grow as a leader and push myself to be the best in my academics that I can possibly be. In the future, I want to study animal science as I aspire to be a veterinarian. I love GT so much, I've actually taken ISM 2 years in a row, both times doing exotic veterinary med, to push me to be the person I want to be and to accomplish my future goals. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, and trust me, this program is amazing.
Hi everybody, my name is Lindsay All, and I attend O'Connor High School. I want to say that I'm so thankful you have chosen me as one of the 4 Ignite Scholarship winners, as it really means a lot to me. I've been in GT since 3rd grade, and it's been a wonderful experience being in it in elementary, middle, and high school. Since I was in it from a young age, it really has molded me into who I am today. It not only allowed me to express my creativity, but encouraged it as well. I was also in ISM this past year where I studied dance education. I've done dance since preschool, and it's been a strong passion of mine where I intend to become a dance teacher as my career to continue my passion. In order to do that, I plan on going to Northwest Vista first to obtain my associate's degree, and then going to Texas State University to obtain my bachelor's degree. Thank you for choosing me once again for the scholarship as it helps me pursue that passion of mine.
And I'll just say that it was a complete irony that 3 of our 4 winners came from the same high school. We had student ID numbers only. All of the people that scored, we had 5 or 6 scorers and had no idea who was who. It just, you know, after they were scored, the highest ones happened to come this year. O'Connor was our big winner. So anyway, I will now turn it over to Danny to wrap up our final meeting of the year. Thanks again for everybody for your support.
Okay. So I hope you've enjoyed listening from different people from our program. I think you know, the thing I enjoy about this meeting, the last meeting of the year, is it really showcases the entire program. When you see, you know, one of the conversations I had with Dr. Woods this year was, how do you scale something that works well? And so when you see 10, you know, GT specialists, or when you can see the 10 grant awards, but the breadth of GT specialists that are throughout our district, you realize that one, we have some very passionate people, but it's not 1 or 2, it's a lot of very passionate people. And so we're very fortunate to have them in those roles. We're fortunate to know that we can move throughout our community, throughout our district, and find them. And it's important that they know that they have other passionate peers that they can lean on and we can grow with. And then, of course, it's always great to see our scholarship winners, because we get to see the results of the program and what we're hoping to achieve and take. You know, we've taken young children and molded them into adults that are ready to go out and change the world. And so it's always fun to be a part of that. I think this year we had more scholarship applicants than we'd had any year prior. And so it's always, one, it's exciting that we're getting more interest, and 2, that we were able to fundraise to do that. And on that note, I did want to say, you know, when spring break got extended and it looked like we weren't going to be coming back to school, I took the idea of the walkathon and I threw out the window. I was like, oh, there's no way that's coming together. But our board showed what they constantly teach to the kids, which is grit, which is perseverance. And they said, oh, no, we got this. We're going to take this. And, you know, I think we had one of the most successful walkathons we'd had in a while. We had some participations at a level that we hadn't even conceived that people in Houston or other parts of the country, family members, could participate. So it was a success that I could have never imagined. And it's due to the work of our great board and our team. So with that in mind, we had one question that came up, and I think you know, it makes a really important point. In the Q&A, and the question was, you know, I have a GT kid and I'm trying to keep them occupied, and I'm struggling as I continue to teach the rest of the kids who maybe have different interests, or I'm trying to ping pong, or, you know, between them. And so I need to emphasize this. We are in a state of emergency as a country. A successful day for all of us is measured in, is anybody in your household showing symptoms of COVID-19? If the answer to that question is no, then everybody gets an A. That is the only thing that matters right now, is the health of everyone, okay? You're not gonna be a perfect homeschooler. You're not gonna be a perfect teleworker. None of us, and they've emphasized this to me at work, we've had leadership stand up, none of us are voluntarily teleworking. The expectation for performance and output is not what we normally can achieve. Okay, we are all in a situation where we need to adjust what we expect a good day to be. And remember, right now we are trying to flatten the curve, and that just means staying home. So don't worry about perfection. And that can be hard, not because we have GT kids, but some of us are type A as well, and we are perfectionists. And it's adjusting our expectation for what a good day is. A good day is one where everybody stayed healthy, okay? The education, everything else, we'll do the best we can. Don't worry about trying to get perfection on a daily basis. Try to do those little things that keep you going through the day. Take breaks, enjoy the time you can. And most importantly, if you're stuck, if you're in trouble, just ask for help. Okay. I had an interesting conversation with my grandmother I was going to share with y'all because I told the board about it yesterday. My grandmother is a retired school teacher. She taught 32 years in San Antonio ISD. She is 94 years old. And I talked to her the other day and she said, Danny, I've never seen anything like this. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty interesting. She goes, yeah. And I lived through World War II and the measles outbreak and polio outbreak. And I start thinking about that. And I think about what I'm doing and what I'm going through in here. And I think about both of my grandfathers fought in the European campaign in Europe, in World War II. And, you know, they steamed over there in boats. They spent months to years over there and came back. And I look at what I have to do on a daily basis and I realize this could be worse. So take what we have, appreciate the technology that we have here, that we can still be in communication with each other, that we can still do what we do, and just do your best. Try to stay healthy, and if there's anything we can do to help, just let us know. With that, I want to thank everybody for participating. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I think we had a great year. I think we overcame some really interesting challenges in a way that none of us thought we could. Let's see, and okay, and I think, is that it? We didn't have any more Q&As, and I think we got everything. So if there's nothing else, I'm just going to tell all y'all to have a great evening. Thank you for everything you do, and let us know if there's anything we can do to help.
Really quick, before you end the meeting, did you want to talk a little bit about the tips list that we collected and sent over, and how that's going to be sent over to parents so that they can have access to that?
Yes. Meredith, do we have a place that we can post that?
Yeah, we'll get that out on social media, either through our Remind account, or we can do it on our Facebook page. We'll try to get that out as many ways as we can. Facebook, Twitter, Remind. So
I just shared it with you.
Okay, perfect. We'll get it out right after this. And we are going to just trim down the recording of the video so you don't have the 10 minutes of us talking, and we'll get that up on YouTube. And yes, thank y'all for coming. Thank you, Danny. Thank you everyone for all the support that you've given GTEAC this year, for all the amazing things we were able to give back both to our teachers and our students. I am so proud to be part of this organization. So thank y'all.
For sure. It was definitely some great work. Y'all have a good year. Thank you.